Oh, coconut water in Thailand is different gravy. Anyway, yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. It's match day. Chelsea versus Servette, the Conference League. We're here to win the whole bloody thing. And in this video today, I'm going to tell you why the breakthrough that we needed to sign Victor Osimhen is happening. It might be happening as we speak. I'm going to go through a load of Chelsea news today on the morning of match day. Make sure you're subscribed because 6 things we learned will be out straight after the game. And whilst you're at it, Chelsea fans, let's get together. There's been a lot of negativity in the media. There's been a lot of arguing and fighting even amongst ourselves. Make sure you smack a like on this video today if you agree with me that this transfer window isn't actually going as bad as a lot of mainstream people might be leading us to believe. They're buying too many players, they're buying the wrong players. And to be quite honest, I just simply think it's for clicks. I don't think there is any real validity behind a lot of the nonsense that we're hearing. And I genuinely believe that if we do sign Victor Osimhen, which I think we're going to, I still believe that we will, and I'm going to tell you why today, then I think this really is a very good transfer window for Chelsea indeed. Before we do go any further though, you see this glistening badge right here? This shirt, I've actually started to love it. We bought it just before we went on the pre-season tour. And if you guys haven't got yours yet, and you like this one, maybe you like the away kit, the third kit, I've got myself, or got yourself, a 10% discount code, GBFC10, using the link in the description at the Megastore, gets you a discount. So make sure if you're buying the new kit, it's actually really nice, I like it. Link in the description down below. So, Osimhen to Chelsea, that is what we're all here for. In order for us to understand why this is going to happen, we have to go through the Chelsea news today because big things are happening right now in the Chelsea transfer stratosphere. I don't know why that's just been like a phrase that I've kind of under the radar like to use this summer. Romelu Lukaku deal expected to happen as Napoli are advancing in talks with Chelsea. Napoli director will meet with Chelsea in London in the next 24 hours, this was yesterday by the way, to proceed and try to find the final solution. All parties involved expect Lukaku to become new Napoli player in the next days. We've also got this one here, Lukaku to Napoli deal very close, with clubs to meet in London in the next 24 hours. I think, as you're watching this video, Chelsea Servette match day, I think we're going to get the news here that Romelu Lukaku is going to Napoli. Everything's going to be agreed. Now, importantly here, the Napoli director is in London. When we look at the Osimhen deal, we've got to look at what we know so far. Osimhen wants to leave Napoli. Napoli want to sell Osimhen. Chelsea want Osimhen. All of that sounds great, doesn't it? There is one sticking point though. Victor Osimhen wants X amount of wages. I don't know the exact figure, but Chelsea have got a new wage model right now at the club, and we only want to pay X, and then through incentivized performance-based raises, Osimhen's salary can and will increase. There is also the idea on the table that there is a loan from Napoli to Chelsea, and then Chelsea have either an obligation or an option to buy at the end of next season. Victor Osimhen isn't interested in this. A lot of the biggest players in the world will not want to keep going on loan. Romelu Lukaku, he doesn't mind it because all he wants is the fat paycheck that Chelsea Football Club have been paying him since we signed. And that is absolutely mad. For a player that signed for Chelsea, did an interview with Italian media 1 month later saying that he wanted to leave, I am absolutely beyond glad to see the back of Romelu Lukaku. With that being said, when you look at the fact that this guy was on, I think it was £350,000 a week, I think what Chelsea need to understand here is that I think Osimhen is the final piece of the potential jigsaw for what could actually be a really successful season. It could be the difference between Chelsea making top 4, getting 100 million of extra revenue from being in the Champions League, or not. And I understand exactly what the club are doing when it comes to changing this wage structure model. We've heard all the rumours and the stories. It's not really rumours, it's truth. Roman Abramovich, the average wage, 200 grand. Now, 70,000. Yes, we're not winning anymore, but in the long run, yes, all of these big transfers, loads of players coming through the door and selling all of it is a gamble. And that, I think, is the part at the moment that us Chelsea fans are struggling to come to terms with. We're struggling to grasp the idea that new ownership can come in and kind of gamble with the success of the club. But when you look at these Lukaku wages, and we're about to talk about Raheem Sterling now, because all of this is so important to Chelsea getting this deal for Victor Osimhen done. This is the latest news regarding both Sterling and Ben Chilwell. Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell are now officially out of Chelsea project as they are training apart from the first team. This is a quote here from Maresca. "I just try to be honest. I told Raheem he's going to struggle to get minutes with us. Chile, he's going to struggle here too." First of all, a lot of people will have you know that Enzo Maresca is just a middleman. He's just a pawn in the game of Todd Boehly, Clearlake Capital, Bedad Egbali, the owners of Chelsea Football Club. They just want someone that they can give a script to, put them in front of the media and say what they think people want to hear. I don't for one second believe that this is 100% a club decision. Yes, I think Chelsea will look this summer and look at Sterling on 325 grand a week and Chilwell 200 grand a week and be like, Ben Chilwell's played 15 or started 15 games in 3 years, and Raheem Sterling, like, what have you done to justify this? And Sterling was the first signing of the new ownership era. And I think what they're doing here is being brutal, but they're having a manager come in, and let's be honest, you can believe that it's Todd Boehly, Bedad Egbali, Clearlake saying to Maresca, right, go and tell the media this. But also, if you know anything about the way that Maresca wants to play, you also know that Chilwell and Sterling don't fit. So this isn't just a little put him in front of the camera and just say what the owners are telling him to say. This is also, from a footballing standpoint, something that makes complete and utter sense for Chelsea moving forward. I don't think for one second that Raheem Sterling starts ahead of Pedro Neto, Joao Felix and hell, even at some points Mudryk. And if on the right-hand side he does not start ahead of Cole Palmer, flippin' heck, I'll shave my head again if that happens, and he doesn't start ahead of Noni Madueke. So this makes complete sense. And how does this fit into the Victor Osimhen to Chelsea story? Romelu Lukaku, 300 plus grand a week. Sterling, let's just call it 650k for a ballpark figure. And Ben Chilwell, 200 grand a week. That's 850,000 per week off of the wage bill at Chelsea Football Club. Now, this is the part here where Chelsea have to understand what Osimhen brings to the table. Yes, there could be some players at Chelsea that might look at someone like Osimhen coming in and being like, oh, but they break the wage structure for him. He's a striker who guarantees you goals. Yes, there is definitely an injury record there that is to be concerned with. But I think Chelsea here need to look at the massive savings that we've made by changing the structure and the signings that we've brought in. None of them are on crazy wages, apart from the ones we're currently trying to sell. And Victor Osimhen is the difference maker. He's a world-class footballer who walks through the door and not only brings goals, which Chelsea Football Club need that. We saw the finishing of Jackson again on show at the weekend. Not to put Jackson down, but you know what I mean. We need someone that can bury those chances when we get 2 or 3 in a game. At least bury one of them. Allow us to be competitive in every fixture. And Chelsea were competitive because we had a lot of the ball against Man City. It's the finishing that's letting us down again. It's Enzo Fernandez playing in a role that doesn't suit him. We just brought in Joao Felix. Imagine Joao Felix behind Victor Osimhen with Pedro Neto and Cole Palmer and Nkunku either side. I know it's obviously difficult to fit all of them in like that, but I'm talking about here reeling off players that are actually top class. Forget all of this nonsense that you're being fueled and fed right now about, oh, it's a 45-man Chelsea squad. It's complete nonsense. Maresca keeps on telling us in the press conferences, look, I'm working with 21 outfield players, 25 including the goalkeepers. Osimhen is the difference maker. And Chelsea right now have an opportunity here to get the player that wants to come, the player that the club wants, and the player that the team that we're buying from wants to sell. And we just have to understand that there are some players out there on the market that will be worth changing the plan for. And I'll say this now. The difference between this being an amazing transfer window and being a good one is Osimhen. If Osimhen comes in, I think it lifts everyone at the club. it gets fans excited again. It gets Stamford Bridge match-going fans excited again. It gets players looking and being like, oh my word, wow, we have just signed an elite footballer. It gets people excited. It gets Pedro Neto that idea in his head where it's like, all I want to do is feed that man in the box and get Chelsea assists, get Chelsea goals. It's a signing that elevates everyone. And if you're going to go ahead and sell your Chilwells, your Sterlings, I am not for 1 second believing this is all because we just want to get the wage bill down because we're tired of paying the high wages. I think it is to enable us to be like, we've got this structure now, we have managed to do this 4-window strategy, and now we've got a good squad. Now we've got good players. Yes, the defence, it's questionable, but going forward, it's blistering. We've got so many great attacking players. And if we can sort out the back line, you sell Disasi, then we buy in another centre-back. That makes sense. We've taken a loss on Disasi. We're not going to make the money back for him. But then if we do go and buy a top centre-back to replace him, then brilliant. But the issue for me is still that number 9 position. And I think that the Napoli director being in London, there is still going to be talks here about bringing Osimhen in. And the thing that I think is most important with the Osimhen to Chelsea deal is the later this goes in the transfer window, the more likely Victor Osimhen could be to budge. We've seen that Paris Saint-Germain have ruled themselves out of the deal. Yes, I still have a sneak feeling, and you guys are going to hate hearing this, but I've got a sneak feeling that a Premier League club comes in for him. And I think if that happens, then it's fair to maybe question what Chelsea are trying to do, the ambition. Because having that player like Drogba used to be, he was such a massive figure, not only to aim for in the box, but just as a personality in the dressing room. A lot of people will also have the opinion that Osimhen isn't an elite striker. Fair enough. That's cool. Have your opinion. I don't mind. I think he's top class. I really do. And I think the fact that he wants this move, but like, yes, he's a top player. He doesn't want to lower those wages. Chelsea have got to take the opportunity here. If you can save yourself 800 grand a week in the space of a week by freezing out and banishing Chilwell, Sterling, and finally getting rid of that lump Lukaku, then there's only one thing left to do, boys. And that is sign Big Victor. But anyway, I know it's match day and I don't want to take up too much of your time. So I'm going to ask you now, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. And my final prediction here is that the day before the last day of the window, we'll sign Osimhen. That's what's happening. I promise you. This is happening. I believe it. I back it. And I do believe that the owners know that this is the right thing to do. And maybe this video is me just trying to like hope that someone sees it and just, you know, like, I really don't think we're far away. I really don't. People will be like, oh, we got battered by Man. No, we didn't get battered by Man City. What game are you watching? Yes, they were better than us, but realistically, we didn't finish our chances, and Enzo Fernandez had an absolute shocker when it came to that final touch in the box. Other than that, we were decent. Anyway, wrapping up this video here. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to GBFC if you are new, and stay tuned to the channel till after the game tonight, because 6 Things We Learnt will be out. I almost choked on my words there. See you in a bit. Come on, you Blues.